good morning to you and to all the viewers out there, and this is episode 44 today. And welcome along to it. Like we said, we bring out and about to you every week, twice a week now. So if you want double the fun, we're here for you. And joining me now in the studio at 10 o'clock, here is Mark English, and good morning. Welcome to episode 44 today.
Good morning, Barry. How are you?
And good, thank you, and good morning to all the viewers out there. Welcome along. Well, yesterday we went to Scarborough, and that the show was being exported from yesterday, so it will be up soon. So, we've covered phone matters ad nauseum now, so we don't need to remind you, but for those of you that haven't tuned in, well, we might give you a bit of a refresher. For those of you that have been told about it half a dozen times, well, you don't need to be told. But the importance of phone manners, okay, they are very important. Never, ever threaten anybody on the phone, whether you're angry or not. Here's Mark now to open episode 44 with this.
No, you're dead right, Barry. There's never an excuse for being rude or abusive or aggressive. So you can expect that you're not going to get a good result if you behave that way. And just being courteous and trying to get your message clearly is the best way to go about it.
But like we say on many of the shows we bring to you, it's a line straight through your name, guys, okay? And you're not gonna get the correspondence that you need in the first place, or that you were expecting in the first place. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, you're just not going to get the result that you want if you don't show some manners, courtesy, patience, or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Can't really add to that.
Well, today we're going to talk about how we have put out and about together. Okay, that's the end of the phone manners. And we've covered that already now. Okay, so out and about, like we said, at Shorncliffe. Okay, it's a series where Mark and I are trying to show you the different places in Brisbane and all around the Queensland region. Here's Mark now to tell you about it.
Well, the premise is to try and show the viewers exactly how you go about getting yourself around and what restrictions you're under because of the wheelchair and the places that you can and can't visit because of your lack of mobility, and whether the wheelchair is appropriate for the terrain. So, along with the food reviews, of course, but I suspect that's a separate thing at lunchtime.
That's a separate thing. Now, how we put it out and about together? Well, we discuss what we're going to talk about on the day, and when we wrap up the show, we talk about the upcoming show and the episode, like we're doing now. We're going to discuss what we're going to do for the day and where we're going to go and how we're going to get there. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so I suppose the first thing is we check the weather, and hopefully we get some fine weather. But gee, I'll tell you what, it's been a long time since we've had really nice weather. We got lucky yesterday. It was patchy, but we didn't get rained on. And today I've arrived at the studio and it's raining outside, but looks like it may clear. So there's always a bit of a gamble when it's patchy like this. So that's the first thing.
So what we do is we do an intro and a recap of yesterday's show, okay, which is what we're doing now. Okay, so yesterday we went to Scarborough and it was really beautiful. Here's Mark to tell you about it.
Yep, it's looking stunning. The park's beautiful, and as I've said, the day was a bit patchy, but we didn't get rained on, so it was good. And Barry, you had, well, an altercation with the police. Well, it wasn't an altercation.
But I met the police, but on the right side of the law.
Lucky. If only they'd come along a minute earlier.
Lucky. So out and about it's been going since the 30th of May. But I didn't call it that back then, it was just the episodes. But like I've said, like we've covered many episodes about where we've been so far. And so far we've been to Scarborough a couple of times and things like that. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, so we have tended to, particularly when we haven't pre-planned any particular visits, gone back to places that we've been before, because number one, you do enjoy a good visit to time zone. That's one thing, and it's easier sometimes when the weather's not being kind to us to make sure we're going to an indoor venue.
So, like we say on every video that we bring to you, check the weather. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so as Barry said, we check the weather, and then after the weather, it's a matter of trying to decide exactly what today's preferences are and what sort of day Barry wants to have, whether it's going to be a full day of out and about or whether we just go out for an hour or two and decide on a venue.
Which we're going to do right after this intro. So the importance of getting out and about and making the most of it, guys, is really important. Okay, and make the most of your one-on-one person. Here's Mark.
Yeah, well, you've made it very clear that you're keen to make the most of the time that you've got to get out and about, and you do a good job of making sure that you're ready to go as early as you can be, and we try and pre-book taxis. Not that that always works, but you've got to give it a go and hope that it works.
Okay, well, we're going to take close the intro now and pre-book a cab so we can give to you the best day that Mark and I can give you, because That's what we're all about here at Out and About. And if you've got anywhere that you'd like us to cover, we've also sent this numerous number of times. Please give us a call or write to us. Here's Mark.
Yeah, contacting Barry to provide either inspiration or feedback is extremely welcome. So, please provide feedback and suggestions, as we said, for either places to visit or places that you've been to and love and would recommend.
So if you'd like us to cover anywhere in Brisbane or anywhere in Queensland for that matter, we'd like to hear from you about it. Here's Mark.
Yep, so I'm sure Barry's given you the addresses, and as you know, it's
23 Mundy Place, Bray Park. And the name of the productions is Out and About Productions. Put Barry Fair and Mark English, and please include your return address and phone number so that we can contact you. Here's Mark.
Yep, so I imagine that you don't have to provide us with contact details if you don't want us to contact you, but it'd be nice to have a discussion with other people and see what they do and how they go about it.
So, we'd like to hear from you about suggestions that you'd like to us to cover and what you'd like changed. So if something is interesting to you, please let us know about it. Here's Mark.
Yep, we need a bank of ideas to work with, and we certainly don't have all the answers, so please give us a contact.
So if you'd like us to cover anyway, just please let us know. Here's Mark.
I think we've covered the letting us know now, so
all you've got to do is just pick up the phone and a pen and a piece of paper and write to us.
that'd be fantastic.
And that'll be fantastic. Well, we're going to close the intro now, or wrap up the intro and get the show underway. The time is 10:15. It's Tuesday, the 18th of October. And welcome along to episode 44 today. Thanks for joining us. Here's Mark.
Thank you for joining us, as Barry said, and hope we bring you an interesting show.
So, episode 44 is now in motion. Let's bring it to you. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday's edition of Out and About. This is Barry Fair here. And welcome along to you and to all the viewers out there who tune into Out and About. Today's episode is about how we put Out and About together and what I do with the video. And joining me now outside the shopping centre is Mark English. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Barry and viewers.
Well, how we put Out and About together? Well, like I said in the opening sequence this morning, we discussed a range topics we'd like to talk about, and how important they are. Now, when we conclude out and about, I then put the show onto my memory stick and then export it. Now, I select the pictures that are important to put onto YouTube and all of that. So, here's Mark to tell you how we put the show together.
Well, Barry's the brains behind the technology. I am, unfortunately for him, a card-carrying Luddite and have no skills whatsoever. So Barry gives me direction, we record, then he tells me how to put it on the stick and put it onto his studio computer, and then he takes up all the magic from there.
So, like I've said, out and about is put together by me so that viewers like yourself can actually watch and see what Mark and I get up to on Monday and Tuesday. Now, out and about starting on Monday, May 30th. Here's Mark now.
So that was my first day, I think, with you when we did the Story Bridge. Is that the one?
Yes, it was.
Yep. So that was the first time Barry and I had spent the day together, and did the trip to see the Story Bridge. And as I said at the time, it was an eye-opener for me. But I really have very little input into the show as such certainly when it comes to putting it together.
So, at the conclusion of each show, I'll do a wrap-up of the show and preview on what's coming up on the next show. So I will close each show with appropriate ways of using 000, and when not to use 000, and say goodbye to the viewers from that point on. So out and about, I thought it was a good idea because it will give you some idea of what Mark and I are talking about and where we bring the show to you. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so carry around a laptop, and we just open up the laptop on Barry's tray and record straight onto that. So this is a laptop recording at the moment, and that's the one he's talking about then putting on the stick and then transferring it back onto the computer at home. Sometimes we use my phone to make a video and then transfer that onto the computer back at the studio. But of course, as I mentioned, my skills are low, and that has presented us with, well, in reality, many hours of fun trying to transfer the videos onto the computer. For one reason or another, it hasn't been easy, but we have a method now.
So instead of opening it, we just drag it and it automatically goes to the desktop like that. So I'd like to talk about now the importance of putting the show together, because the show means a lot to both Mark and myself. Here he is.
Yeah, so not only is it a great way for you to spend your time, Barry, but a great way for you to let people know what you get up to, as well as letting them see some of the challenges that you have, and you know, obviously some of the reviews that you do. So, you know, there's a bit of information for a lot of people there.
So we've had to stop production in June because both Mark and I had COVID. So it was a bit of a setback for both Mark and I in production and putting the show together as technology and help was concerned. So as you can see, this is episode 44 today, as we are constructing now. Yeah, you know, from May 30th to now, I think it's a wonderful achievement. Here's Mark.
It is a wonderful achievement, but I'm interested in, you know, where did you learn to do this, Barry?
Well, somebody has taught me how to tell people what I was up to. So, you know, I'm doing intros and outros and that sort of thing. Well, a guy in Sydney told me to do the intros and the outros and the credits. So that was great.
And so when you put the credits on and all that sort of thing, how does that work?
Well, I've got an intro and outro file back at the studio which I use. So that's how I do it.
And is it just a very neat case of you just put it there and then bring the next video and it just sits there? I mean, there's a lot of knowledge gaps floating around in my head.
Yeah, so I use a software called Video Editor. That's what I use.
Right.
So when we get back to the studio, I will show you.
I am an interested bystander and I have no interest in destroying the magic that is production of content. So ignorance is bliss for me.
Well, you can watch how I put it together when we go home.
All right.
So, the importance of this show. Okay, it is really a must that I put it together for you guys so you get a fair idea of how I put it together. Mark is a wizard, the technical side. I'm the one that does it. I just give him direction. So before we put the show together, we decide where we're going to go and where we're going to do the show. Take for example yesterday when we went to Scarborough with Mark.
Yeah, so once the decision was made and we got there, and but it wasn't clear cut what we were going to do, so it was just a matter of go with the flow, and at some point this is what happens. The laptop comes out and you record another segment.
Or put another show together. Now, talking about episode 21, that was a very, very difficult show for me because I was not well that day. I had a mask on and I was very raspy. Here's Mark.
Was episode 21, was that Scarborough?
Yeah, the first trip to Scarborough.
Right. Yeah, so, well, you were just unwell.
And by the time I had finished, I couldn't even finish the show, which was disappointing. And the next day, that's when production had to stop for at least 12 days. At least I was able to do a show in the studio, which was an added bonus. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so you did have a fair bit of time to work in the studio when that happened. I wasn't sure how long you spent in bed because obviously we weren't catching up during that time.
So how I conclude the shows, I do a closing segment, but I will tell you in a minute, about that in a minute. Okay, but to put the show together, I do an opening and an intro, say good morning to all the viewers, introduce Mark, and then we do a recap of the previous show. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so as you've just explained, that's the process, and I just follow along, given that, as I've already mentioned, I don't have the technical skills to actually do any of the computer work.
So it is all done back at the studio. I check all the files first to make sure that I've got the right files and the right parts before exporting it or on video editor before it goes on to YouTube. Now the important rule which we brought up on the show in July is the privacy and not mentioning anybody's name because of the privacy reasons. Here's Mark.
Yes, that was an interesting learning curve, but it's just it is what it is.
So even as we wind up the shows and export all the files to go on YouTube, I am laying the foundation ready for the next episode. Here's Mark.
Well, as I've said, I don't have anything to do with the technical side or the planning side or laying foundations. So I'm not familiar with anything that happens if I'm not standing here.
So it's all left up to me. So even as I say goodbye to you viewers, and another episode is done and dusted, that means I have laid the foundation. I am getting prepared to lay the foundations for the next program. So I hope this video has given you an insight on how I put the show together. Now, to keep the show interesting, I must not swear on the show, or raise my voice, or get angry. Here's Mark.
Well, I reckon people would love to see you go off. So, you could get angry just as a demonstration and show the viewers what not to do.
Well,
acting's not our forte, is it?
acting is not the way to go. But one thing, guys, you've got to remember: if you're putting it, going to go on YouTube or make a video, the content must be appropriate. Here's Mark.
And again, I have absolutely no clue what the requirements of YouTube are. I'm an exceedingly infrequent visitor to the site and a zero content developer, so absolutely no knowledge at all.
So we do hope that this video has given you an insight of how we put our things out together. Well, I'm the one that puts it together. Mark is just my offside. Now, one thing you must never ever do is use offensive language on your videos. That's if you are making it. The same with me. If I'm using offensive language on video, well, my viewers will not like that. So I've got to be very careful that I don't offend the viewers. Well, before we do go today, I'd like to say thanks. We'd like to say thanks for tuning in, and here's Mark.
Yep, it's nice to think that somebody's going to get something else out of this as well as us, and it plays well into our cry for some questions, directions, anything from outside. Please give us some ideas and let us know what you think.
But as we said, please do not be abusive. It does not work. Here's Mark.
Yes, so bad behaviour in general, people don't like it, they don't want to deal with it, and by choice they would cut you off every time. So please just bear in mind when you're dealing with others that they are dealing with you at the same time. So if you think it's acceptable to be screamed at, then that's your choice, but it doesn't mean that everybody does.
And like we say, if you think it's okay to scream down the phone or yell at someone, whether they're in public, well, you are very wrong about that also. Because like we say on each episode that we bring you about and about, behaving is the key. Here's Mark.
It's an all too common refrain. I don't know how to add to that. We've absolutely hammered it to death.
Like we've gone bang, 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 bang. So all of you people out there should know how to behave properly in public because we've given you all the tools that you require, and we shouldn't have to remind you every time. And if you watch our shows or subscribe to YouTube, guys, well, and have a good look at the footage, okay, and listen to the commentary, and that will give you some idea of what we talked about. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so obviously everything's covered in the videos, and if you expect you can only get them from YouTube, Barry?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Look up my name. Okay, and see what you think. And if you'd like to comment on the show, all you've got to do is write to us. Here's Mark.
Yep, so I'm sure that if you're watching this, it's not the first one you've watched, and you know the address is 23 Mundy Place, Mundie Place, Bray Park,
Queensland 4500, and please do include your return address and phone number so that we can respond to your letter and call you if you'd like to speak to us. And not in the studio, guys. If you happen to find us out and about in the studio, okay, all you've got to do is give us a smile or a wave. Come and meet us. Here's Mark.
Yeah, if you see us out and about, feel free to join in.
Because nothing is wrong, guys, with joining in. Don't be shy. Here's Mark.
Absolutely. If you want to be a part of it, again, just let us know.
And who knows where we might be. Here's Mark.
Well, every day's a bit of an adventure in where are we going. So, as you just said, Barry, who knows where you'll end up.
We could end up on the Goodwill Bridge again. Here's Mark.
Well, at least if you end up on the Goodwill Bridge, it means we've started on one side or the other of the bridge. So you'll either be at South Bank or Botanic Gardens in the city. Lots of options.
So don't hesitate to write to us, guys, because as long as we get feedback on the show. And that's where we'd like to end how we put how I put the show together, and I certainly hope that you've learned something from it. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, and if you want to know more, again, let us know, and
Write to us
correct.
or phone us. Well, that brings to an end another film and another edition of Out and About. We do hope that you enjoyed the show, and normally I would say where we are, but not today. So Join us again next week or in 5 days' time, and we will wrap it up back at the studio, and I will give you a reminder about Triple O also when we wrap the show up. So from Mark and I now, we will take a break and wrap it all up back at the studio.
I look forward to wrapping it up with you soon, Barry, and that'll be us signing off from location.
And I will go to a helicopter then.
Yep.
So until we see you back at the studio, it's bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Well, we've just come to the end of another day and another film about Macbeth. Another episode, I should say, about Macbeth. And this has been episode 44 today. We hope that you've enjoyed us. Join us again on Monday for another episode, and we certainly hope that you're enjoying the episode. And now here's Mark very quickly to say his farewell and the wrap up of the day.
Barry, take care, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the day, and that you come back and join us again. And don't forget to give us some insights into places you've been or would like us to go, and give us some guidance. So please contact us.
And the number that we rely on 24 hours a day, you know what it is, 000. Please do not ring that number unless you've got an emergency, because if you do, you are potentially putting other people at risk. And here's Mark to close episode 44 of Out and About with that.
Thanks, Barry. And absolutely, it's an essential service. It needs to be maintained for emergencies only, and any kind of pranking that takes their attention away from what they should be doing only leads to issues. And hopefully one day you won't be needing the service that you're disrupting.
So on that note, we hope that you've enjoyed episodes 43 and 44 for this week. Join us again on Monday for episodes 45 and 46 on Tuesday. Until then, at nearly 6 o'clock, Barry Fair and Mark English wishing you a safe Tuesday night, and stay safe, everyone. And who knows where we'll bring this show to you.
Exactly.
But until then, here's Mark to say bye.
Take care, everyone. Look forward to seeing you again, and thank you for tuning in.
10 o'clock Monday morning and Tuesday, you know where we bring Out and About to you. Until then, Barry Fair wishing you a very pleasant Tuesday evening. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.